Exciting news, Wine Coven! We, the Wine and Crime Gals, for the first time ever, are coming to Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yes!
We will be live at the historic Lobo Theater on March 15th, 2025. And there are general admission as well as VIP tickets on sale now at wineandcrimepodcast.com. And those VIP tickets get you preferred seating, a signed poster, and a post-show Q&A to ask us all of your burning questions.
Yes, we are so excited to be visiting the gorgeous American Southwest. It is one of my favorite places in the country.
She loves it.
I love it. The live show starts at 7 p.m. Doors open at 5, so you can come grab a drink and some food and mingle together with your fellow Coven members before the show. But wait, there's more. We will also have a booth at the Beyond the Crime Convention, which is an immersive all-day event that brings together true crime survivors, family members of the missing, detectives, advocates, true crime podcasters,
us,
creators advocating for the voiceless, and true crime fans who are invested in helping solve crimes. So, if you want to stop by and see us and some of our other favorite true crime pod friends, we have a lot who are going to be there. I'm so excited. Be sure to check out Beyond the Crime Convention.
Tickets for all of these events are going fast, so don't miss out on an amazing day and night with your gals. Head to wineandcrimepodcast.com for tickets and info on both of these amazing events, and we'll see you on March 15th.
Woo-woo.
Wine and Crime contains graphic and explicit content which may not be suitable for some listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
You are listening to Wine and Crime, the podcast where two friends chug wine, chat true crime, and unleash their worst Minnesotan accents.
Sure do.
Yeah, I'm Amanda.
I'm Lucy.
And today, I'm so happy. You could say I'm full of cheer for our very special fan pick coming at you from Ashley Niles.
Oh.
Who maybe has a personal connection to their chosen topic for this week,
Maybe.
which is,
I forgot to check.
well, sorry about that, Ashley Niles. We love you regardless of your history with this topic that you have chosen, which is cheerleading crimes.
Cheerleading.
The drama, the costumes, the stage moms. It's a whole thing.
I found their email.
Okay. Look at
Nope,
us.
there's no reason.
Nope. Great. I love it. I love it. They just want to know about it. Or that might be a part of their history that they didn't share. We don't know. But
Who knows? There is no way to know.
somebody out there probably cheered. I did not.
I
We
did
had-
not.
we had
that was
friends-
not my scene.
No. We had friends who did cheerleading and friends who did dance team, the skipperettes, the Rets.
Mm-hmm. Blyana was a cheerleader.
Correct.
And Blam.
Oh, yeah. But we were not the ones to do organizational routine cheering. We'll go and we'll cheer.
Yeah.
But we are not cheerleaders. We are cheer followers.
I'm not. The devotion to that sport
Oh,
is ungodly.
okay. But cheer competition videos,
I do love them.
they're so good.
I did also love that that problematic Netflix series.
I know. R.I.P. It's
they
such
go
a cool
to-
concept.
Where did they go? Orlando? Was that their big final showdown?
Yeah, it was basically the reality TV
Daytona.
show series of the movie with Kirsten Dunst.
Bring it on. We'll
Bring
get
it
to
on.
it. We'll
Oh,
get
good. Good.
to it.
I love that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I went in search of a cheer wine and in the process was sorely disappointed. So there's definitely a market for like cheerleading adjacent wine that maybe we should tap into. We might be the worst people for that as we are not cheerleaders, but a lot of like cheer adjacent wine was very much of the holiday variety and not the cheerleading variety. So I pivoted and instead found a very simple recipe for a very delicious, I won't really call it a cocktail because it's more like a mimosa.
Oh, yum.
But it
a
looks...
morning cocktail.
Okay, mimosas are for every part of the day. I don't care who's going to come for me. Have a mimosa at midnight, baby. Midnight mimosas.
Yum.
But this is called the Cheerleader, and it's kind of like it's more of a mimosa than a spritz. So you can batch prepare it, which 10 out of 10 do recommend. But if you just want to make yourself a single glass, you put in your Prosecco, your sparkling, kind of whatever floats your boat. This specific recipe calls for Prosecco. A half ounce, so like a splash of orange juice, and then an ounce of pomegranate juice. And then put a few pomegranate seeds right into the glass to just give it that elevated extra little boost with a garnish.
Make it gram-worthy.
But you can do it in a pitcher. You can prep like 2, let's be honest, 3 to 4 cups of champagne, a quarter cup of orange juice, and 1.5 cups of the pomegranate juice, and then put pomegranate seeds in your pitcher, and then girls brunch, pour away.
Yum.
So easy.
And of course, I would have to adjust those ratios because you really just need a hint of the shit that's not champagne.
Truly. Truly. I think that mimosas or champagne / sparkling based drinks allow for everyone to be fluid with their fluids and pour what feels right. I like to pour my mimosas or my sparkling spritzes by like color. So I like the color to be pretty pale. If the glass is like too opaque, then I know that there's not enough booze and there's too much juice. But if you can still see through it pretty well and you have that nice, delicate color to it, for me, that's going to meet my personal taste preference. But everybody's taste preferences are different. I want the juices that go into my mimosa to complement the sparkling and not overpower the sparkling, personally.
Exactly.
But everybody likes their concoctions to their own taste. So just have fun with it. But that is my recommendation for today is the Cheerleader Mimosa Spritzer.
Adorable.
So
that
cute,
is a
right?
cocktail we can root for.
Yes. Rah, rah. Taco burrito, what's coming out of your Speedo?
What?
It's from Saturday Night Live. It's fine.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Okay. Let's take a quick break to, if you want to sip, if you want to puff, if you want to do whatever, to hear a word from our sponsors and then come back and dive into Cheerleading Crimes.
Yes, I'm so excited because I have a fucker of a case today.
Yeah, I'm not wasting any time with the wine pairing today because I want to get the fuck into the meat and potatoes. I am so excited to talk about.
We both have insane cases.
We have a lot. So let's take our break and let's get into it.
Ugh.
You know, when we started doing this podcast with a video component, the anxiety over my sometimes unruly skin amped up considerably. Okay? I'm not gonna lie. There is nothing that makes you not want to be on video more than like a hormonal breakout. Not the most fun. And feeling confident in your skin really does start with getting expert care. That's why we're super excited to partner with Apostrophe. So whether you're like me and you're dealing with acne, check, signs of aging, check, dark spots, check, Apostrophe helps you access the right treatments for your skin.
Yeah, there's only so much that like over-the-counter skincare can do, especially when there's like very specific changes that you want to make with your skin. Apostrophe is an online platform that connects you with an expert dermatology team to get customized acne and dermatology treatment for your unique skin. You don't have to like make an appointment with a dermatologist to go see in person.
No.
This is all online and it is the same stuff. Through Apostrophe, you can get access to oral and topical medications that use clinically proven ingredients to help clear acne. Listen, acne is not super fun to talk about. It's embarrassing. When you're a teenager, that is the last thing you want to address.
No, and they don't tell you it follows you into your 40s.
Yeah, so if you're like a parent of maybe a teen who is embarrassed to address this, or if you're a 40-year-old who just doesn't want to leave your house, it's so simple. Simply fill out an online consultation about your skin goals and medical history. Then you take a few selfies, and a dermatology provider will create a customized treatment plan just for you. You get it in the mail super quick. And they offer access to all kinds of prescription treatments. So like from hormonal acne to facial acne, even back, chest, butt acne. It's like whole body skincare that's accessible right from your house. I started using my apostrophe potions. I say that because it's like magic. My skin texture has noticeably improved. So I'm just very excited to have this company that gives me access to like very expert level care for my skin.
Yeah, and we have a special deal for our audience. Get your first visit for only $5 at apostrophe.com/wine when you use our code WINE. That's a savings of $15. This code is only available to our listeners. To get started, just go to apostrophe.com/wine and click Get Started, then use our code WINE at sign up and you'll get your first visit for only $5. Thank you, Apostrophe, for sponsoring this episode.
Who doesn't enjoy a little luxury here and there? Just a little touch of, I don't know, feeling a little extra.
A little treat.
A little treat. But although I enjoy a little luxury, it doesn't mean I can always afford it. Because luxury tends to be expensive.
Yes.
But that is not the case with Quince. Quince is my go-to for luxury essentials at truly affordable prices.
I'm obsessed with Quince. Quince offers a range of high-quality items at prices within reach, like 100% Mongolian cashmere sweaters from $50, washable silk tops and dresses, organic cotton sweaters, and 14-karat gold jewelry. I live in my little paperclip 14-karat gold necklace. I'm obsessed. The best part, all Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to you. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. I love that. I have this super cute, like, linen romper that I am so excited. We have temps approaching in the 60s and 70s, so I could finally wear that bad boy again. I live in that in the summer. I love these pieces.
Give yourself the luxury you deserve with Quince. Go to quince.com/wine for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/wine to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/wine.
Listen, if you are me or anything like me, then you sign up for something, you forget about it after the trial period ends, and then you're charged month after month after month. The subscriptions are there, but you're not even using them. You just wanted to watch that one season of that one show. In fact, we are not alone. I just learned that 85% of people have at least one paid subscription going unused each month. And thanks to Rocket Money, I can see all of my subscriptions in one place and cancel the ones I'm not using anymore, and now I'm saving more money.
So I recently found my bullet journal from like 12 years ago.
Yup.
I have color-coded handwritten lists of everything, of all of my subscriptions, how much they were, when things expire, blah, blah, blah. Those days are blessedly over. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. So you can see all your subscriptions in one place, much like my color-coded graph, except it's accurate and it just updates itself.
Yeah.
You know exactly where your money is going. And for those subscriptions you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you cancel them. They're the adult in the room. So this dashboard gives you a clear view of your expenses across all of your accounts. You can also easily create a personalized budget with custom categories to just help you stay on track. You get alerts if bills increase in price, if there's unusual spending activity, or if you're close to going over your budget. Don't want that. Their new goals feature automatically saves money for you, so you don't even have to think about it. You can pay off credit card debt, put money away for a house, put money away for that exotic short hair cat that you've been eyeing, or just build your savings because we're approaching 40 and that should be a thing. Rocket Money makes it super easy. They'll even try to negotiate lower bills for you. So they automatically scan your bills to find opportunities to save, and then you can ask them to negotiate for you.
Bye-bye.
They deal with customer service. The future is now. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features.
So cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/gals today. That's rocketmoney.com/gals, rocketmoney.com/gals. Okay, welcome back, Lucy. What do you have in store for us today for Cheerleading Crimes?
So our fan picker, Ashley, initially requested Oklahoma crimes.
I feel like we did that.
We did do that.
Because
But
we sang an incredible rendition.
Yes, who could forget? And it was actually a fantastic episode, I thought.
It really was.
And they emailed this, and then I feel like days later that episode came out. So then they emailed back, changed their topic to cheerleading crimes because the crime that Ashley wanted us to cover happened in Oklahoma.
Fantastic. So it still applies.
It still applies. And boy fucking does it. So
I'm so glad that shift happened.
I am too.
Because this was too fun.
This was very fun.
Yeah.
So I've got some background for us. I don't have a lot because the crime was so wild that I didn't want us to go on for many hours. So obviously, a cheerleader is one who calls for and directs organized cheering.
Yes.
Go figure.
Boom. Done. Next.
So groups of young women dressed up in their little skirts and their little shorts and their little pom-poms, revered and hated by all teenagers at some point. Well, I feel like our cheerleaders were kind of...
They were chill.
The dancers were the real...
The dance
wild
team was
card,
definitely more of the very popular girls. And there was a hierarchy that was if you were a ret, you were elite. And if you were on cheer, you were just
wannabe ret.
Mid-regular. So more of our girlies.
Yeah. We went to a very large high school though. So I think if you have a more condensed student population, then those people rise to the cheerleader status fairly easily. So trope-wise, ditzy, cliquey, blonde, just like us.
Yeah.
So there are several iconic films.
Yes.
Because cheerleading is such... Oh, also, I was going to say, when in high school, when we had our class French trip,
that I didn't
Final
go on because I wasn't
Destination-wise,
in French, but yes.
Well, what did you take? Spanish?
I took Spanish, but I didn't go on the Spanish trip because my senior year, our choir and orchestra went to Norway. So I did that instead.
Oh, you don't regret that, though, for a second.
Sure don't.
You guys talked about the Norway trip for so...
I still do. It was fucking amazing.
It seems like it was life-changing for the people who went.
It was definitely a core memory, and I'm very glad that we did it.
That's kind of how I feel about our French trip.
Yeah.
But we had we stayed for 5 days with a family and went to high school with the kids.
Very cool.
And in one of their classes, they just had an hour where I had to stand at the front of the room and answer people's questions about America.
Oh, God.
And they were hooked on the idea of cheerleaders. They call them pom-pom girls.
I love that.
It's just a very uniquely American,
je ne sais
campy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first movie came out in 1999, But I'm a Cheerleader with Natasha Lyonne.
I love her.
I love everything she's in, except that weird Groundhog Day movie show. I couldn't get into that. So if you haven't seen But I'm a Cheerleader, ! There's conversion camp, because she's definitely a lesbian on the cheerleading squad. And it's very satirical, campy, funny. There's, a lesbian cheerleader. It's hilarious. The movie Man of the House that came out in 2005, not the JTT one.
Okay, which problematic in its own right.
Yeah, I don't even remember the plot line. So this one, some cheerleaders witness a crime, and Tommy Lee Jones plays basically himself in the most self-defining, unchallenging role of a curmudgeonly sheriff pretending to be a cheerleading coach.
What?
To go undercover. Find out what they know.
I know what I'm doing tonight.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Man of the House.
That's right. Okay, sorry, I'm high. Man of the
2005.
House. Pulling up my Just Watch app to see if I can find it. 2005 this came out?
Uh-huh.
No. Okay, the second one listed, Texas Ranger Roland Sharp is assigned to protect the witnesses to the murder of a key figure in the prosecution of a drug kingpin, a group of University of Texas cheerleaders. Sharp must now go undercover as an assistant cheerleading coach and move in with the young women. Jesus. Well, it's on Hulu, everybody, so...
Woo!
Tommy Lee Jones has also looked 70 since he was like 25.
But he's one of those guys that I'm sure, like, when he was 25, he was, like, oddly hot.
Really
because
hot.
he looked like an old man.
Yup. I mean, I loved him in Men in Black.
Yeah.
So good.
He was 87 in that movie.
Probably. He's definitely just one of those actors that, to me, always looks old. He's like a Maggie Smith. He doesn't look as old as Maggie Smith did her entire life, God bless her. But he just like, I can't imagine him ever playing anyone under the age of 60. I just can't visualize it at all.
No.
I think it's his skin texture.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of pockish.
Yeah, which like, I love. Here for
Tommy
it. I love
Jones,
a rugged skin
young.
texture.
Oh, yeah. He was pretty cute.
Yeah, I could see it. But, you know, I also think that, like, Willem Dafoe is weirdly super hot.
Same.
Yeah, especially, like, do yourself a favor and peep some young Willem Dafoe. You know, I like a hot man that's, like, kind of weird looking.
Young. How do you spell Willem?
Willem. Babe, you're about to be... Yeah. Yeah. Your face.
Why am I...
Right? Do we need
so
to take a
turned
break?
on by... No. He got... The jawline, though, is insane.
Baby, Green Goblin. Get to Goblin, Green Goblin. Let's fucking go.
Okay, we will drop all of these images on the drive. They
Why
will
are there
be on
so
the
many
blog.
Willem Dafoe photos for Cheerleading Crimes? Don't fucking worry about it.
We are cheering for Willem.
We're cheering for him.
Yeah.
And his penis that allegedly is so absurdly large that it was too shocking to be featured in the film Antichrist.
Shocking?
So, it's so shocking.
Oh my God.
That the director who's, I'm going to get roasted because I can't remember their name. They did Dancer in the Dark and
Yeah.
You know, the like devastating
The weird one.
cinema director. He gave an interview that was like, I was like taken aback and like immediately ordered a prosthetic penis because like the world was not ready.
Put that away.
This film was already putting people through a lot. It's a tough watch.
Yes.
We can't do this. We can't do this.
Oh my God. Well,
There's just something
speaking
so
of-
funny about that to me. Anyway, cheerleading.
For the Antichrist movie. Speaking of attractive people, Jennifer's Body came out in 2009.
I love that movie.
Megan Fox is a demon-possessed cheerleader killing high school boys.
Oh, it's so good. Listen, it's not good. It's pure camp.
Yeah.
It's like peak camp Diablo Cody shit. And I will always be a stan of Jennifer's Body. I feel like that movie did not get the acclaim that it deserved. It's so fun. It's so shocking.
It kind of reminds me of that Teeth movie
Yeah.
with the vagina that has teeth and then it just bites the dicks off.
And it's also like so queer coded. Like Amanda
Oh, yeah.
Seyfried. I can't. It's so
Everything
good.
she does is
I know. God bless
here
her.
for it. And the movie that Roger Ebert called the Citizen Kane of cheerleading movies.
Raj, thank
Bring
you.
it on. Bring it on, baby.
Iconic. That movie raised us.
I know.
That is the most like white millennial into 2001 or whatever the fuck that came out, 2002 movie of all time. Everyone knew the cheers.
Yep.
That was so quoted everywhere. Everyone quoted it.
I'm Torrance. You're Captain Torrance.
Ugh.
And I always say, I'll get the door, Tor. I'll get the door, Tor.
You do say that. That has
and
remained.
Nobody never clicks with anyone. It's
sorry.
the goth girl's brother who has a crush on Kirsten Dunst. And he's trying to be a cheerleader and he's opening the door for her. And no one ever gets it. That's fine.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Your life is really hard.
That movie. If that weren't the case, I would have the perfect existence.
Yeah.
That's the one thing dragging me down. That movie reminds me of those little TVs that had the VCR built in underneath it.
Oh, yeah.
Like watching it at a sleepover.
The thing that takes me back to those TVs, it instantly is Dawson's Creek. Because I would like sneak into my sister's room and she had the little white TV with the built-in VCR next to her bed.
That's such an older sister thing to have.
I know.
I had a little TV in my room too. Didn't have a VCR though.
That was your family poor. Why don't you pick on someone your own wallet size, Lucy?
Oh my God, Porreet.
I can't. Y'all, housewives. Anyway.
Housewives. Okay. I have some stats for us because March is National Cheerleader Safety Month.
Stop
There,
it.
I just did a cheer. Yeah. That's why I scheduled it for when I scheduled.
Listen, cheerleaders are on the front lines, baby. They're getting injured.
Left and right.
A lot of torn ligaments. They're getting tossed in the air.
We'll get to all of that.
Oh.
A study conducted by the National Center for Catastrophic Sports Injury Research.
I'm sorry.
The NCC, sir.
Catastrophic.
The National Center for Catastrophic
fucking insane sports injury
research. To figure out, like, the fuck?
Right. How can we prevent this? This is catastrophically bad.
It's an incredible name.
It's so good. New drag name.
So they found that collegiate cheerleading accounted for 70.5% of all female catastrophic sports injuries, and high school cheerleading for 65.2% of all high school female sports injuries.
Holy hell.
It's not hockey. It's not basketball. It's cheerleading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, having watched those like high school and college cheer competition videos, this makes perfect sense. It's like actually terrifying the shit that these athletes are doing.
They get thrown like literally 30 feet into the air. That is a 3-story building.
No.
And you're relying on people to just catch you without like a sheet or a trampoline.
No.
With their arms.
Not mine. Not these arms.
Nah.
Fuck no. Honestly, I would never even trust me to do like a slow trust fall.
No.
Like, I'm not your girl.
No. Definitely not.
Trust me when I say you don't want to fall into my arms. 'Cause my upper body strength is in the negatives.
Well, also, I feel like you would just get distracted by something in the half a second you're not planning the trust fall.
Oh, I mean, that's an additional risk. I'm also just weak as fuck.
This upper body, no.
I'm never paying attention, and even if I was was at my 4-year-old godson's birthday party a few weeks ago, and it had been a while since I'd seen him, so I hadn't like done a big scoop pickup hug where he like runs at me.
You already injured yourself picking him up.
And I got him like halfway up, and then I was like, buddy, you're like he's a tank, God bless him, and he's tall as shit. So he's bigger than a 4-year-old. But I was like, I've reached that moment where I don't think I can pick you up anymore, which made me really fucking sad.
I mean, 4 years old and the size that he is, that's a lot of weight. I feel that way about June sometimes. She's 14 months old.
Yeah. And you're like, I don't know how much longer I can do this.
Carrying that girl upstairs is
terrifying.
It's like 3 laundry baskets in one.
I'm going to get you
One
one of
dense
those
child.
like stair chairs lifts
Yeah.
for the disabled and elderly girlies so that you can just have June in your lap until she's fucking 18. Just on the lift.
I don't want that either. I'm just teaching her how to climb the stairs.
Fine, 18
safely.
months.
Okay, I'll take that. High school cheerleaders will experience an average of 3.8 injuries throughout their career, while college-level athletes will suffer an average of 3.5 injuries. Just in those time periods.
So these cheer athletes get injured more, report more injuries than college.
Well, you're also in high school for, 4 years. Yeah. We'll kind of get to the reasons why. Because
Development of skill. Yeah.
Inexperience is a big part of it.
That makes total sense.
Overall, football and cheerleading have the highest incidence of fatal injuries and accidents.
So scary.
I will never let my child play football.
I know, but that's hard to say because you can't always have a lot of control over like what sport or activity they fall in love with, and you also want to support them. It's so hard. But football, I mean, the rate of TBI is so high, it would be like a serious concern as a parent. I totally understand that difficulty. But then the second you're like, I'll never let you do this, then your shitty fucking kid, just that's all they want to do because we've all been a shitty fucking teenager.
Yeah.
It's like, tell me no. That's the first way to get me to do it.
Show them really graphic images of injuries. That'd be my deterrent.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was an average of at least 1 death per year on cheerleaders from 1991 to 2015. So someone dies pretty much every year.
Good Lord.
Besides performance accidents, some of the most common causes for the high injury rate include lack of proper equipment, poor training and conditioning, and inadequate coach supervision. Cheerleading used to be like more pom-poms and like actual shouting and like the big megaphones staying on the fucking ground.
Where humans belong, by the way.
But today it's like professional acrobatics and stunts and pyramids and like throwing each other and choreography.
It's Olympic.
And jock jams.
It's
mixes.
Simone Biles group dancing.
Yeah. It's wild. Hospital emergency visits due to cheerleading injuries increased from just under 5,000 in 1980 to almost 27,000 in 2012.
Damn.
So just in that, few decades span.
Well, it shows how many more people are consistently getting into the sport. And like how far the sport is also pushing itself to like top the stunts of previous years and try new routines. It's like there are absolutely going to be more injuries with that combination of factors.
Yeah, it's just wild that it was like that much.
Yeah.
Like 7 times the number.
My God.
So some common injuries are strains and sprains. So the difference, a strain happens when you injure the muscles or tendons of the body, and a sprain involves an injury to the ligament.
Oh, okay.
Which is a response. The ligaments attach your bones together.
Yeah. All right. That makes sense.
Just to finish out the common injuries, fractures, dislocations, head injuries, and concussions. Okay. And now my case, which takes place in 1996.
And this is the fan picker case?
This is the fan pick case.
Wow. Okay. Perfect.
Okay. To set the scene, because I want us to really feel this. We're going back to Oklahoma, as stated.
Where the wind goes sweeping around the plane.
Yes. It's 96. Unbreak My Heart is on top of the charts.
Okay,
Toni Braxton.
You're fucking killing me because I almost did this exact same intro for my case.
Shut up, really?
Different year, but 100% same vibe. We didn't do the same case. That I can confirm.
We're storytellers.
Yeah.
We're professional storytellers.
We share a brain.
Also on the charts, I Believe I Can Fly.
Yes.
Space Jam, baby. Space Jam.
Fuck R. Kelly, but like
that song.
Wept. I loved Space Jam. My cousin Andrew had a Space Jam themed birthday party. It was
my God.
We went to a basketball court. I had my Lola Bunny Velcro sneakers on. It was iconic. We blasted jock jams and played like dodgeball and basketball. I don't know why I was there. We did not live in the same state. But he has a summer birthday, so I used to spend a lot of my summers with my aunts in Boston, so I was probably on one of my summer stays.
That's an unbelievable birthday party.
It was awesome.
I saw on TikTok the other day someone threw a Bible themed. They were turning 33, so their the theme for their birthday was you have to dress up like someone from the Bible.
Incredible.
And she was Jesus, obviously.
Duh, it's her birthday.
It's her birthday.
Who showed up as Pontius Pilate?
I'm sure someone did.
Someone had to have.
There was like the snake from Eden.
Yeah. Oh, fun. Really getting creative. I would go as the apple. Just a big, round, red, juicy ass bitch.
Speaking of juicy ass, Jinkos had a chokehold on us. So we're in a small town called Waurika. I think I'm saying that right. I don't actually know. Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. In 2020, the population was 1,837 people. So
this was 1996.
And it's 96. I have no reason to believe the population's gone dramatically up or down since then. Mm-hmm. It's a small town.
Yeah.
Waurika is also very close to the border with Texas, and that will come into play later.
Okay.
In 1985, apparently with zero explanation, Waurika called itself the parakeet capital of the world.
Do they even have parakeets?
It's fucking Oklahoma, so no. The Chamber of Commerce website in 2020 seems to have walked back this claim a little bit, stating that it was, quote, once known as a parakeet paradise, but is now known as on the trail by the lake.
Quote, one time we saw a parakeet here that was flying, and we were like, what the fuck? And decided this is now the parakeet capital of the world.
The world?
Really, girl? The world?
Wouldn't you think that, I don't know, Bolivia would be the parakeet capital of the world?
I don't know, where parakeets are indigenous to might be the parakeet capital of the world.
It's not Waurika, Oklahoma.
Tell you what.
Also, the logo for this town is a rodeo rider, but he's not riding a bull.
Is he riding a parakeet?
He's riding a fish. It's not a joke. I'm not joking. There's a picture of it.
No. I love a town logo.
A town logo.
Like
Waurika,
Baby Y.
He's riding like a large
Billy
mouth bass. Yeah.
This is incredible. So talk about Jankos. Those saddle pants are big.
No, they look like a ball sack.
Yeah. Nasty.
Okay, so that's a little bit about Waurika. That's where this takes place.
I think that logo with the original tagline, Parakeet Capital of the World, would be fucking amazing. And this feels like a missed opportunity.
I know. It's a cowboy riding a largemouth bass.
Big mouth Billy Bass.
And
it's the Parakeet
capital of the world.
It's perfect.
Some AI shit. They voted on this at some point.
Yeah, this was like a room full of choices.
Yeah.
This wasn't one choice. This was a lot of choices.
You know what else was a choice? The font for On the Trail by the Lake or whatever it says.
It's like you may as well have used Comic Sans, you chuggy bitch. What are you doing?
It's not great.
The whole thing looks like an ad for Bass Pro Shops. It's amazing.
Like a local one.
Yeah,
like a
local knockoff.
We'll kind of get to the local sporting goods store. Okay. Heather Rose Rich was born on January 19th, 1980. She was a Capricorn. Mm. She was the third child of Gail and Dwayne Rich, who had moved to Waurika in 1974, choosing the small town because it reminded them of the other small town they grew up in, which was Elgin, Oklahoma.
Gail and Dwayne.
They said, quote, a place where kids couldn't get into too much trouble because there wasn't much trouble to get into.
Because there was nothing to do.
This town had no movie theater, no park, no rec center. Nothing was open late. And the closest fast food place was 17 miles away.
I feel like that's exactly what gets teens into trouble. Having nowhere to go to connect with each other and play and like get their fucking energy out. Mm-hmm. You're going to have a whole goddamn town full of psychopaths.
We'll get to it.
Oh, no.
You hit the nail on the head, my friend.
Oh, no. And then cheer is like their only thing.
So Heather, for obvious reasons, fucking hated it.
Well, yeah.
Her ex-boyfriend, Randy Wood, says, quote, Heather always wanted to break the monotony. She was always restless. She hated being bored. We'll get back to Randy Wood, who is somehow not a porn star. Randy Wood.
Randy Wood.
So that aside, Heather was known through town as a vivacious, kind, and exceptionally pretty young woman. She was super cute. Mm-hmm. There's pictures of her on the drive. She's got like braces.
Aww.
Just big, bright eyes. Mm-hmm. She's just cute.
She definitely looks like one of the lead characters from Teaching Mrs. Tingle.
Oh my God, totally.
Yeah. Like
I loved that movie.
I know. I just watched it the other day. It's on Paramount Plus. I watched a Teaching Mrs. Tingle Mars Attacks Bang Bang double feature.
Dang.
It was awesome.
Yeah, that's a good combo.
It was a great combo.
So Pat Harmon, owner of the aptly named Pat's Beauty Shop in Waurika, stated, quote, people adored her because she was always so bubbly and made a point of being nice to everyone.
Aww.
She was voted the sophomore class favorite. I hope they don't still have that. That's a little bit weird, especially in such small classes.
I love how you're like, I hope they don't have that. And I'm like, why didn't we fucking have that when we were in high school? I would have been class favorite. I need to be class favorite.
You were class clown or something.
I know. Senior year. And I was on homecoming court, but I didn't fucking win.
You actually have a lot in common with Heather now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm just like a less hot, less talented Heather. I see it.
I see it.
I see myself in you, girl.
So she was also a cheerleader for the Waurika Eagles. Heather, this isn't you. Heather had also begun to practice self-harm, and there is an account of her practicing purging by 8th grade. And then one source said that she was determined to stay a size 2.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Heather also had the habit of sneaking out of the house, cruising the main street strip, scooping the loop. Or like anyone who grew up in a small town would know, she liked to hit the back roads, build bonfires in remote pastures, and drink and smoke pot, because that's all there fucking was to do.
Yeah.
Heather was also known to get a lot of attention from not only boys her own age, but also full-ass men.
Of course.
Some accounts say this is so
She's in fucking braces, you sick pieces of shit.
This is so sexist. Some accounts say that she thrived on the attention, but in the same paragraph state that she didn't know the effects she had on men.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Ugh.
So,
Fuck.
Gail and Dwayne, the parents, wanted to kind of protect her from all of that bullshit. So they forbade her from dating until she was 16 years old. This just kind of furthered the teenage angst in her.
Yeah. Like I said, second you tell me no, first thing I'm going to do is that thing you told me not to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
So coming back to Randy Wood, the not porn star. Randy had a hard Scrabble background. He lived with his single mom who had a history of addiction. He never knew his father, and the household struggled to make ends meet. Randy was known around town as soft-spoken, maybe a little bit slow, but he was also the running back for the Waurika Eagles football team. I think he was the captain of the football team.
Yeah, so it's very like cheer captain, football captain, fairy tale high school sweetheart romance.
Yup. Until it wasn't.
Yeah.
Heather's mom said that her daughter gravitated to underdogs, which is why she started hanging out with Randy. They would like go to church for a really long time together. They would talk on the phone for hours on end. Some people said that she felt kind of sorry for him, but they did end up dating for 5 months.
Which in high school is a long fucking time.
Yeah. And I think they were like young enough that there wasn't like sexual activity. It wasn't like a sexual relationship. You know, it was just like casual.
They were kissing
innocent.
And not going to the movies because there's no movie theater, but
yeah,
kissing and going to parties and hanging out.
Randy once said, quote, I knew her, but not like I wanted to and not like I should have. So they weren't, whatever.
They were high schoolers in a 5-month relationship. Mm-hmm. You know, they're not going to get to know each other on some deep cellular level.
Right. By 1996, when she's 16 years old, Heather is getting more and more distant from her parents. That summer, her father, Dwayne, who was an electrician, is nearly killed on the job when a transformer blew up and burned over 65% of his body.
Oh, my God. And he survived?
Mm-hmm. He went from being like a super involved dad to being a patient requiring skin grafts, physical therapy, and learning how to walk again.
Oh, that's so sad.
He got real fucked up. Mm-hmm. So Heather stayed home, that summer to help feed him and dress his wounds while her mom would work long hours trying to make up for the lost income. Mm-hmm. So I also felt that for you because of your dad's foot.
Yeah.
Not great.
Not the best time to be 13 or 16. However old 16 she is, but I relate to her situation in a lot of ways.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So school starts back up in that fall. Randy breaks up with Heather after hearing a rumor that she had gone skinny dipping at a co-ed party. She was skinny dipping around other boys, and Randy didn't like it.
Yeah, the trust is gone.
Trust is gone. Trust is hard to get back, especially when you're 16. Mm-hmm. Shortly after that, Heather started experimenting with methamphetamine.
Oh, dear.
Again, because then there's jack shit to do in that town.
Yeah.
Around this time, she was also nominated for Homecoming Queen. Mm-hmm. Towards Amanda's birthday, the end of September, Heather is drunk at a football game, and she gets in trouble and gets suspended from school for 3 days while they decide whether or not to kick her off the cheerleading squad.
Ugh. So I also got in trouble for drinking in high school and almost got kicked out of choir and theater, but I didn't.
I didn't really drink in high school.
Ugh. I didn't drink a lot, but let's just say the only time I ever got a minor was at Jessica's house.
Same. But that was the summer after we graduated high school, so I didn't get into any trouble.
Nope. You lucky bitch.
Oh, and I was 18. So they never found out.
There you go.
But
Not
we were
me.
at Jessica's house.
You're younger than everybody in my class.
Sorry.
Ooh.
The thing that bugs me the most about that night is that we could have escaped because I was with Blyle Bleen. Mm-hmm. He was totally sober and he had driven. So I was like, Kyle, let's get in your car and get out of here. But nope.
No such luck.
Fucking Kyle made me hide in the backyard and instead got
Douche.
caught. Got caught and got my shirt all wet in the mud. Okay.
You should invoice him to replace the shirt. And include inflation. What would that shirt be worth now?
He'd invoice me for all the McDonald's I made him pick up for me.
Okay, fair enough, actually.
I think I probably got out of that richer than he did. Okay.
You got more than a shirt's worth out of the deal.
Okay, so her parents are super concerned, obviously, and they set up an appointment for Heather to see a therapist on October 3rd. Mm-hmm. On October 2nd, Heather's mom discovers a $300 long distance bill. Remember those? Mm-hmm. That was racked up when Heather was talking with friends from church camp. So her mom finds out, she gets really mad, and Gail says to her daughter, all you ever do is cost me money.
Gail.
Which really pissed off Heather, of course. That's a hurtful thing to say.
Yeah.
So Heather goes to her room, probably slams the door, and later came out to wish her father a good night, but not her mother. Good night, Dad. Mm-hmm. And then back to the room.
I can hear it so clearly. It's so some bullshit I would pull.
Absolutely.
But also, Gail fucked up. That was not cool what you said, and she needed to apologize. So,
well, no one gets the opportunity to clear the air because she would never speak to her mother ever again.
God damn it.
That same night, after that, obviously, Heather snuck out to see Randy Wood, her ex-boyfriend, and two other guys named Josh Bagwell and Curtis Gamble. Mm-hmm. So here's a quick background of Josh and Curtis. Josh, who was 17 at the time, was a senior at Waurika High School. His family had a lot of money, and he lived with his grandparents. Described as a snob, Josh was given his parents gave him cars, or his grandparents gave him cars, like 6 of them, because he kept getting into car accidents and wrecking his cars.
And they would just buy him a new one.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
This guy is a piece of shit.
Just a little
Josh.
Chuckle fuck.
He was undisciplined at home. He was once arrested for driving under the influence, as rich boys are wont to do.
He's a spoiled little brat.
Also, as rich boys are wont to do, he demanded a lawyer and resisted arrest.
Fucking classic.
Randy and Heather were kind of attracted to Josh's wealth. So that's why they kind of wanted to hang out with him, because he always had like money, beer.
Yeah, he'd pay for everything.
cars.
He'd bring all the booze and yeah.
And Heather actually, it's reported that she flirted with him to secure a spot in his Dodge Stealth, whatever that is, to ride in during the Waurika homecoming parade.
Okay. She knows what she wants.
She knew what she was doing in that respect. Curtis Gamble, who was 19 years old, was a high school dropout and by all accounts was also a huge piece of shit. When he went to school, he would like manipulate people into fighting each other just for fun. Mm-hmm. And there were rumors that he killed livestock for sport. And he had been to several juvenile detention centers throughout his adolescence, and he escaped from every single one. Mm. Curtis became friends with Josh Bagwell through a mutual interest in guns.
Oh, great.
And, quote, hanging out by the river. Randy Wood and Curtis became friends after working together in a watermelon field. So that's how they all know each other. Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem like Heather knows either of the other two guys very well, but she's hanging out with Randy.
Yeah.
According to Randy, the three boys were out drinking when Josh decides to call Heather and ask her to meet up with them at a trailer out at his grandparents' on his grandparents' property. Mm-hmm. So she's like, yeah, that sounds like, oh, you got beer? Yeah, that sounds fun. So she sneaks out of her parents' house after getting in a fight with her mom, mm-hmm. goes out to the grandparents' property, meets them at this trailer. Before she got there, Curtis and Randy went to go get more beer. And when they returned, Josh and Heather were both naked, and there was a half-empty bottle of gin.
Oh, dear.
Randy testified that Heather, quote, was nearly passed out, if not all the way. Mm. Curtis, who had been on the beer run, decided to have sex with her while she was passed out.
Oh, my God.
Obviously rape.
Yep.
And Randy said he fondled her.
Oh,
so
dear.
She was getting majorly sexually assaulted. Yeah. Heather kind of comes to, begins to cry, and Curtis started worrying that she would accuse him of rape.
Oh.
Because he raped her.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so he's like, oh shit, she's awake. She knows what's going on. The three boys dress Heather and take her to a pickup truck owned by Josh's grandfather. They drive around the back roads with her for 2 hours while Curtis muttered that she had to die. So in his affidavit, Curtis said, quote, I couldn't even look her in the face. I knew it was too late. We had done kidnapped her.
Oh, dear.
The following day, October 3rd, which was supposed to be the day of her first therapy appointment, Heather's parents wake up. She's not there. Mm-hmm. So they attempt to file a missing person report, but classic, the police are just like, she just ran away. Oh, you had a fight the night before? Weird. She just ran away. Mm-hmm. She'll come back. Mm-hmm. Heather's mom was like, no, like a bunch of her shit is gone. Like,
it's here. She didn't run away because she didn't pack her stuff.
Yeah. I read that wrong. No, all of her stuff is here. She did not run away.
Yeah.
So the mom begins to canvass the town. They cannot find any trace of her. Ugh. 6 days later, on October 9th, so she's still missing. This is just hours before the homecoming football game where Randy Wood was named homecoming king. Mm. The town learns of Heather's body being discovered floating in Belknap Creek in Montague County, Texas.
Oh, dear.
Because remember, they're very close to the border. This was about an hour away from the town, mm-hmm. or 17.5 hours if you're walking.
Got it. Okay. I can really visualize that distance.
Uh-huh. And so what I'm about to say is like peak Texas.
Oh, God.
I had to read it like 4 times to like
take it in.
So initially, a rancher in Texas, he saw her in this creek. He thought that her body was a drowned calf.
Okay.
Because he didn't have his glasses on.
Okay.
So he fired 2 rounds from a .22 caliber rifle into it in the hopes of sinking it. The following day, he saw it again. It's like, hey, that didn't sink. And then I guess he had his glasses and he realized that it was in fact a body still floating in the creek.
Sir.
It's always a good idea to fire off a gun when you're not wearing your glasses towards some kind of bloated organic material.
The thought would never have even fucking crossed my mind. Better shoot it.
Better shoot it.
What the fuck?
Probably a calf. We gotta sink it. Yeah.
Okay.
They're in Texas. So law enforcement determined that it was Heather and she had been thrown from a nearby concrete bridge because they found like some dried blood that had dirt over it. Like there was blood there and someone had kicked dirt over it to kind of try to conceal it. So this part is really bad. Her face was unrecognizable due to a gunshot wound to the back of her head.
And that wasn't from the guy with no glasses trying to shoot the calf. That was like from cause of death.
He didn't hit her.
Oh, okay.
He didn't. When he fired those 2 shots, he didn't hit her, which was probably, I mean, I don't think her body would have sank. I don't fucking know what he was thinking. No, she got shot in the back of the head and it came out the front.
Oh, geez. Okay.
And she was also shot 8 times in the back. She was only identified by a signet ring that was given to her for her 16th birthday.
Oh, sad.
And her body was so disfigured from not only that, but being in the river for
days.
6 days, that her family wasn't allowed to view the body. And the jurors in the subsequent trial recoiled from the images.
Oh, God.
Authorities who interviewed Heather's classmates over the following week were a little bit puzzled by Randy, who wasn't very forthcoming about his relationship with Heather. Like, they knew that they had dated.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh, Randy, this is your ex-girlfriend. Tell me about your relationship. He was just like, well, we didn't have one. And they're like, we fucking know you did. He was also very vague about his activity the night she disappeared. A Texas investigator named Craig Crawford, when he was talking to Randy and writing notes, he just wrote lie really big in his notebook.
Dramatic.
It's important to note because we're straddling 2 states, but the federal authorities are also working on this because if a kidnapped person is taken across state lines, it becomes federal. So we've got Oklahoma, Texas, and the feds kind of all investigating this. So there are rumors flying around this small town. Some people thought that she was kidnapped and taken somewhere. People were saying she was spotted at a phone booth. She was seen dancing at a strip club in a neighboring town.
Yeah,
all of this.
Just a lot of bullshit.
It's all bullshit. Small town shit. Despite rampant rumors, the kids are not talking to the cops. There are statements from investigators saying that because all of these kids, again, they had nothing to do, so all they really did, like all of them, was party out in fields. So nobody was saying anything because they didn't want to say anything that would kind of like end up snitching on each other.
Yeah, and also like exposing their party hangouts and they're teenagers. They don't want to give that up, even if it's like literally to solve a murder.
Yeah.
If your frontal lobe isn't fucking developed. You're only thinking about yourself.
Yeah, they're high schoolers. The local newspaper even said that the town teenagers were adhering to a code of silence that would make the mafia proud.
Oh, damn.
So days stretch into weeks. The investigators come to a football practice and question Randy again. He says nothing new, but in general, according to everyone else, he's still acting very strange, really distant, disconnected, forlorn. When asked questions,
could have been written off by, my ex-girlfriend friend died. But if you're not even admitting to a relationship that everybody knows about, it's looking suspicious and not like that kind of grief.
Yeah. They just don't have any hard evidence yet. So when he was asked questions for the yearbook, you know how you fill out the little survey for the yearbook? He responded with vague statements to questions like, what was your favorite day? Like your favorite high school memory? He didn't answer. He said his favorite color was black. And then when asked to provide wisdom to underclassmen, he said, cruise the back roads.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's so spooky.
Randy
especially when you find out what
goth
happened.
Era.
So finally, the first good lead comes in. So forensics, ballistics had determined that the buckshot and the wadding in Heather's body was consistent with a specific, forgive me, I don't know a lot about ammunition. A specific Winchester 00 ammunition, and that the likely murder weapon was a Mossberg M9 shotgun. I have a picture of it on the drive. It's just a creepy looking shotgun.
Big ass gun.
A sheriff's investigator learns that Josh Bagwell had charged 4 boxes of Winchester 00 ammunition to his grandparents' account at Beaver Hardware in Waurika, like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So he had that ammunition, and Josh's frequent hunting partner, the one and only Curtis Gamble, owned a Mossberg M9 that he nicknamed Old Blackie.
Oh, Jesus.
So he was very familiar with this weapon. He obviously used it enough to give it a fucking nickname.
Yep.
On October 24th, 2 weeks after they found Heather's body, so like 3 weeks after she went missing, the cops pick up Curtis and take him out to the back roads to question him further. I think they kind of identified him as the
like
stupid
a lead
one.
suspect. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also, Josh, who has the rich family, they know he has a rich family, so he's likely lawyered up, which he definitely was.
Yep.
So Curtis directs the FBI to go look out in some fields for some shotgun shells. Like, oh yeah, we were hunting over there. You're asking about our guns and stuff. There's probably some. And it was just sort of like, there's nothing fucking out there. He's just making shit up.
Yeah.
Whatever. So eventually they get fed up and pull over and they're like, okay, Curtis, cut the shit. They apply some pressure. And at this point, Curtis says, okay, maybe I had something to do with what happened that night on October 3rd.
All right, Curtis, sing like a canary, bud.
Yeah. And as we don't need to be reminded, he's a piece of shit and lies to the cops and said that he and Heather had consensual sex. He also stated that Randy is the one who shot Heather.
Pin it all on Randy.
So there are different charges in Texas and Oklahoma, and I think federally. So the charges themselves I'm not super clear on. But in Oklahoma, Randy and Josh, because Curtis admits it, they're like, okay, we're arresting you and you're going to write out an affidavit. In Oklahoma, Randy and Josh are arrested and charged with kidnapping, and nobody got bail. In Texas, all 3 teenagers were charged with capital murder. Josh was found at home when they arrested him, the rich kid, with 2 swords, 2 assault rifles. One was a bayoneted SKS. I don't know what that means. And he also had a book about how to make a bomb.
Oh, great. So he's just this little incel fuck.
Yep.
With way too much money and time on his hands.
So Randy admitted to everything, and in lieu of the death penalty, he is promised a life sentence if he testifies against the other 2 boys. Curtis pleads guilty to murder and was spared the death penalty in return for his testimony against Josh.
The one who's holding out and isn't talking.
He's the only one not talking because he, by this point, is represented by 3 private attorneys. They immediately take the line of destroying Randy's credibility because they want to convince the jury that Randy was lying in return for the plea bargain deal. The lawyers then enlist Curtis to testify that Randy was the shooter and also that Josh had nothing to do with this. Leave our boy out of this entirely. Put everything on Randy. But then Randy does something unexpected without his attorney present, which is usually not advisable. But he renounced his plea bargain. And in doing so, he exposed himself to the death penalty. But also that meant he did not have a deal with the prosecution.
Yeah.
And they couldn't tape his
testimony. And the chips are going to fall where they may. But I don't want you to think that I'm lying. I don't want Josh's team to have that fuel to put this all on me and call me a liar.
I'm taking the risk of being sentenced to death in the attempt to make sure the jury knows that he is telling the truth.
Yeah. And you know what? That's the right thing to do because you've done a lot of wrong things.
So he said, quote, I knew it would make people see I was telling the truth. And he said something along the lines of, I owe this to her family.
Yeah, because even if Randy didn't like put hands on her that night, he was complicit in all of this.
Yep. So Randy's attorney said, quote, he was at peace, he was confident, he was calm in his decision.
Mm-hmm.
So Randy takes a stand at trial and spills all of the details of that night. The drinking, the beer run, the rape, and the subsequent backroads journey.
Mm-hmm.
He states that Curtis eventually took the wheel of the truck and drove to the Belknap Creek Bridge. There, they dragged Heather from the truck. Randy testified that he himself got back into the truck and he had his face in his hands. He said, quote, I didn't want to see it happen. Mm-hmm. A little bit of time went by and I heard the first shot. Then I heard a bunch more. So I think they shot her in the back of the head first and then shot her a bunch in the back just to make sure. When Randy got out of the truck feeling sick, he said that Curtis looked dazed at what he had done and that Josh had found a rock to weigh down the body and used one of Heather's shoelaces to tie it to her.
Okay.
Obviously not very well.
So Randy is saying Curtis is the one who fired the weapon because it was Curtis's gun.
Yes.
But Josh was like the initial ringleader. He kind of started it by
getting her drunk and assaulting her in the first place.
Yeah, and then letting his friend have his turn.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yep.
And provided the ammunition. Or at least the cops were able to, the investigators were able to kind of determine that Josh had bought because it was on his grandparents' card table.
They linked the ammunition to Josh and they linked the gun to Curtis. And that lines up with what Randy is saying happened.
Got it. Okay.
So together, the three of them then lifted her up over the side of the bridge and tossed her into the creek, gathered the shotgun shells, and threw dirt over the blood on the bridge.
Yep.
If there was any doubt left for the jurors, it was squashed when a former juvenile detention guard testified that Curtis, the one who was just escaping detention centers left and right, once told another inmate that his ultimate fantasy was to kidnap and rape a beautiful girl and then, quote, blow her head off.
And he had allegedly said that before this incident with Heather.
Yes, years before.
Wow. Holy shit.
So Josh Bagwell takes the stand at his trial and says that he just went off to pee when he heard the shots fired. Okay. He didn't know what Curtis was about to do. He was just peeing off the side of the road and what happened?
And how do you explain away everything else that happened leading up to when you allegedly walked off to pee?
So then he when he returned to the truck, he said, quote, I saw Randy lowering the gun.
Oh my God. So he couldn't even keep his fucking lies straight. What a loser.
Josh Bagwell was convicted of capital murder and conspiracy to commit murder and I think kidnapping in Texas.
Yeah, he told on himself.
He's a fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank God, because if you're gonna be this brutal, at least be stupid so you get caught.
He's definitely both.
Mm-hmm.
He got life plus 99 years and is eligible for parole in 2036. In prison, he turned into a white supremacist.
I'm surprised he didn't, by the way. He was one before he went in there. He just found his fucking people.
Yeah, I should say he got tattoos acknowledging his white supremacist ideology.
Mm-hmm.
He also attempted to instigate a prison riot. He threatened to murder prison officers, and he physically attacked a police officer.
Mm-hmm.
Also, in 2000, he appealed the kidnapping charge. Fucking get this. Because Heather was unconscious at the time and therefore couldn't move and didn't need to be restrained, which is an integral component of kidnapping. A judge, a
judge laughed in his face.
A U.S. magistrate judge called Josh a, quote, cretin and denied the appeal.
Yeah. And guess what? All of this is going to look real cute on your parole hearing if you fucking make it that long.
There's more.
Oh, God.
Curtis was convicted of murder and received 2 life sentences, but for some fucking reason that I can't figure out, he's eligible for parole in Halloween of next year.
I would imagine how each of these boys participated and presented themselves at trial had a big impact on the sentencing. So the sentences probably weren't identical. And if Curtis actually gave information and cooperated with the process, he might have gotten a more lenient parole eligibility, like, subline on his sentencing than Josh, who was like a lying prick the entire time.
Here's why I don't think that's what happened. Both Randy and Josh were 17 years old. They were all tried as adults, but they were technically underage. Curtis was 19.
Mm-hmm.
And also, at one point in the trial, he got in some sort of argument. The bailiff tried to restrain him, and he was like wrestling with them. It took 9 other men to get him under control. So he was physically violent in the courtroom.
Well, then, yeah, maybe it's just the way his lawyer was able to negotiate sentencing with the state.
Yeah.
And they just did it better than Josh's team. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, to me, yeah. And it seems like, I don't know, it seems like Josh is the more psychopathic one.
Yeah.
Just because he's disillusioned and really rich. But yeah, Randy.
But, Curtis also raped her and pulled the trigger. Like, they're pretty evenly matched. Josh's behavior is more like in your face, wild and outlandish maybe than Curtis is, but like Curtis is just as fucking bad as Josh.
They're bad. They're just bad. Randy was sentenced to life in prison. He did appeal the decision. I think I don't know where they are with the appeals process, but he is eligible for parole also in 2036. But we're not done. We're not done just yet.
Oh, God.
On January 28th, 2002, Josh, Curtis, and 2 other inmates escaped the Montague County Jail.
No!
They eluded law enforcement, which again, from Texas, Oklahoma, and federal agencies, they eluded them for 9 days.
Damn.
And then held officers at bay for 6 additional hours by holding a 70-year-old gas station owner hostage with a .22 caliber firearm.
Oh, fuck you guys. What the fuck?
They eventually surrendered after negotiating with the FBI and went back to prison. So they got more charges. And this...
These
but
fucking
wait, there's
morons.
more. This speaks to Josh's upbringing.
Okay.
In fucking February of 2002, this is days later after they get back to prison.
For escaping, yeah.
Josh's mother, named Tawana Smith, who was a fucking attorney herself, sought out and contacted Curtis's brother, Rick Gamble, to assist in helping the 2 felons escape again. She asked him to help her find firearms, cell phones, and maps to help the 2 after their planned escape. Rick is like, fuck this, goes to the cops.
Yep.
The cops stop her from attempting to smuggle hacksaw blades hidden inside Bibles.
Ma'am.
While still under police surveillance, she left the jail, went to Walmart, bought more blades, wrapped them in a balloon, and successfully snuck them past prison guards who believed that she had hidden them inside her body.
Oh, girl.
Hacksaw blades.
Nature's pocket.
She got arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit a felony and use of a firearm during a felony and caught 20 years in prison. So,
Baby, this is so embarrassing for you. Oh,
so
no.
embarrassing. So this was a very brutal crime with like a really bizarre aftermath.
Yeah, what the fuck? This was chaos from beginning to end.
Yeah. So R.I.P. Heather.
Poor Heather.
Poor Heather. I'm so sorry you had to go out that way. That is
What a wild case.
awful. Yeah, so thanks to our fan picker for that one. That is one I will not forget anytime soon.
No, that'll stick with you.
Stick with you.
My case is going to feel like a hell of a palate cleanser after all that. So let's take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors and then get information.
March is here. The weather's getting warmer. You're going to bust out all your cute outfits pretty soon. This is the perfect time to reset your skin for the new season. So this spring, treat yourself to glowing skin with the eye Restore Illumina face mask. This sucker is so cool.
I love it.
I love it. It has 360 medical grade LEDs. It packs double the power of other masks that you may have seen that look super futuristic. Like, glowing face. The combination of red, infrared, and blue light targets wrinkles, acne, sun damage, and inflammation. So your skin gets a serious reset just in time for spring. It's like 10 minutes a day. It couldn't be easier. Self-care is as easy as it gets with this Irisor Illumina face mask. No complicated skincare routines, just results. For a limited time, our listeners can get $205 off the Irisor face mask with code GALS25 at irisorlaser.com.
Irisor is also so confident in their products, they offer a 12-month money-back guarantee, so you can gift it or just get it for yourself, baby, risk-free. If your skin doesn't look healthier, you'll get a full refund. No awkward questions, just results or your money back. And like Lucy said, with just 10-minute sessions 3 to 5 times a week, I'll literally do it while I'm vacuuming because I like to feel like I am a full-blown robot with a robot arm that also cleans my house. So maybe you'll look a little bit loco, but your loved ones will see brighter skin. Start the new year with a radiant glow, whether it's for you, for a spouse, for a sibling, for a friend. The Illumina face mask is a thoughtful, practical gift that is sure to impress.
Give your skin the love it deserves this spring. For a limited time only, our listeners get $205 off their Illumina face mask with code GALS25 at irisorlaser.com. That's $205 off the Illumina face mask with code GALS25 at irisorlaser.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Unlock your best skin with Irisor.
Listen, we get it. Coffee is a go-to, but not for us. Not for these ladies on Wine and Crime, okay? Because the jitters, the stomach aches, the afternoon crash, no thank you. Mudwater has been such a game changer, especially if you do like the taste and the comfort of coffee and you want to reach for something like that. This is your replacement. It's not your average cup of joe. It's a cozy mix of cacao, chai, turmeric, and adaptogenic mushrooms to help you feel focused and balanced, but not wired. It's smooth, it's steady, it's honestly just gonna make you feel good. Plus, it's ridiculously easy to make. Literally, if you've got 2 minutes, you got hot water, you got hot milk, and you're ready to tackle the day. And if you're like me and you're a matcha lover, their matcha starter kit is a must try. It's the perfect way to step into clean energy with matcha's calming, focused boost. One sip, you're gonna feel like you're dancing barefoot in the grass. It's seriously that good. Try today and save big because our listeners get 43% off your entire order, free shipping, and a free rechargeable frother. The frother is amazing. I use it every day. So head to mudwtr.com and use the code GALS at checkout.
So in addition to delicious ingredients that go into Mudwater, every single ingredient in Mudwater's products are 100% USDA certified organic. They're non-GMO, they're gluten-free, vegan, and kosher. So if you have any dietary restrictions, this is gonna be quite safe. There's also 0 sugar and no sweeteners added.
Love.
So to use Mudwater, you simply drop the powder into your favorite little mug, you pour some water on it or maybe some milk or whatever you want. Give it a little mix with that free frother. Go wild, add some creamer, some honey. You can even add CBD, maybe some cinnamon.
Yum.
Yeah. It's luxury in a glass, and it's not going to make you sick the way that coffee makes me.
Seriously.
So ready to make the switch to cleaner energy? Head over to mudwater.com and grab your starter kit today. Right now, our listeners get an exclusive deal up to 43% off your entire order, plus free shipping and a free rechargeable frother when you use code GALS. That's right, up to 43% off with code GALS at mudwtr.com. After you purchase, they'll ask how you found them. Please show your support and let them know we sent you. Keep your energy natural and refreshing all year long with Mudwater, because life's too short for anything less than clean, delicious energy. Telehealth has made mental health care more convenient and accessible for millions of people. But critical challenges like finding a suitable therapist, scheduling appointments, and the expensive out-of-pocket cost still keeps a lot of folks from getting the care that they need. But Rula is on a mission to make high-quality mental health care from a licensed professional easy and affordable for everyone. They take most major insurance plans, and the average copay is only $15 a session. You really can't beat that. You can now get the quality care you need when you need it at a price you can afford. And not only that, but they really have your back. They stick with you throughout your journey, making sure that you get the best therapy and that you're making progress, the things that are actually working for you. With Rula, every provider is carefully vetted and chosen for their expertise, so you know you're in excellent hands. The first step on your journey to mental well-being is easy. Rula starts by asking you a few questions about what's important to you, maybe what changes you want to see in your life, then provides a list of licensed in-network providers who match your preferences. You can schedule your preferred time and meet with your therapist as soon as the next day. And that is very crucial. So go to rula.com/gals to get started today. That's RULA.com/GALS for convenient therapy that's covered by insurance.
Like Lucy mentioned, this is truly end-to-end care. Rula is committed to supporting you and staying with you every step of the way on your mental health journey, from finding the right therapist to helping you schedule appointments and monitoring your progress. And they are so dedicated to the quality of care and the entire process of therapy. They want to see you succeed in reaching your therapy goals. They're making sure that their providers are carefully screened and vetted. They're monitoring the quality of their care, and they're helping you monitor your progress in therapy. And they really have something for everyone. A lot of online therapy platforms focus on connecting clients with licensed therapists, but they often fall short when it comes to helping with medication management. Rula has a wide range of licensed professionals, including psychiatrists, who will help you get the care that you need. Rula is the place to go for your mental health care. Even if you're not exactly sure what you need, they can help you figure it out. Thousands have already trusted Rula to support them on their journey toward improved mental health and overall well-being. Head over to rula.com/gals to get started today. After you sign up, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them our show sent you. Go to rula.com/GALS and take the first step towards better mental health today. You deserve quality care from someone who cares. Are you ready for my case?
Yeah.
No one dies.
Oh.
So I have that going for me.
Why am I disappointed?
Jesus Christ. And you are definitely going to want to peep my photos at some point. I will get to them, but they're amazing. So the year is 1991. Nirvana's Nevermind has just been released.
We did do the same thing.
The Hammer Dance is sweeping the nation.
Yeah, it is.
And Wanda Holloway and her daughter, Shanna Harper, her daughter from a previous marriage, are embroiled in a drop-dead gorgeous adjacent fight for a coveted spot on the cheer squad at Alice Johnson Junior High School in Channelview, Texas.
Junior high school.
My baby's going to state. I found so many similarities between this and Drop Dead Gorgeous that I actually Googled, was Drop Dead Gorgeous based on the Wanda Holloway case?
Oh my God.
It's not. I was just really excited.
Does a stage light fall on anyone's head? Cause them to go deaf?
It never goes that far. It feels like this case could have inspired the film and not been like a shot-for-shot retelling of what happened, obviously. But so Wanda Holloway was a church-going woman. She has hair like Reverend Lovejoy's wife from The Simpsons, and she played the organ at her local Missionary Baptist church. There is a photo of her on the drive.
Oh,
the perm is perming.
God.
The bangs are banging. What part? It's just a mound. She's a little severe in the jaw.
And the eyebrow and the lips.
And yeah, the thinly tweezed eyebrow.
She's got some angles.
Yeah. I mean, she's giving face.
Oh, yeah.
It's very sharp. And then there's a really cute picture of, again, I have to believe, an also permed Shanna in her little houndstooth outfit. She's such a cutie pie.
Okay, she's adorable.
Yeah. She's 13. Can
we like her?
Yeah. Yeah. She is an innocent victim in all of this.
Perfect.
Of her, God bless her, Looney Tune mom. So Wanda seemed like any other suburban mother, but behind her respectable exterior, she was fiercely ambitious, especially when it came to her daughter's success.
Uh-oh.
Wanda herself had always wanted to be a cheerleader, but was prevented from trying out as a child because of her strict religious upbringing. So it's theorized here that this unfulfilled dream became an obsession that she projected onto her daughter, Shanna.
Yes. Okay.
Who, it's important to note, and I do think I note this again later in the case, that like Shanna doesn't really care about cheerleading. She's like not, she could take it or leave it. You know, it's fun. It's like,
not her passion.
But it's not, it's not the end of the world for her when things are going the way that they're going. So Shanna, like many girls in Texas, she wanted to be a cheerleader, like in her own right, but wasn't obsessed with it. Like her mother was obsessed with getting her on the squad. She was like, this is a great way to be like in with some of the popular girls and do something fun with my classmates. Like, yeah, I want to do it. But if I don't get on the squad, it's like not a big deal. I'll do something else.
Mm-hmm.
So about Wanda, though, her mom, quote, that's all she ever talked about, that cheerleading stuff, said her former father-in-law, R.E. Harper, to People magazine. She'd go on and on about it to anybody who'd listen. So it's Wanda who's like super into it, pushing Shanna to audition her like sixth and seventh grade year, I want to say. And so she auditions these 2 years in a row, and she did not make the team.
Uh-oh.
And whether this is
Wanda's mad.
Wanda's pissed, and whether this next bit is true or Wanda's perception, I'm not really sure.
Okay.
But she was consistently beaten out for whatever spot she was auditioning for by her classmate Amber Heath, who in our story here is more of the Amber Atkins character.
Okay.
And Shanna is like a good Rebecca Ann Lehman. Like, she happens to be the daughter of this kind of
psycho.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a psychopath mom, but she's not, an aspiring leader of the Lutheran Sisterhood Gun Club, and she's not that as invested as Rebecca Ann Lehman ever was in the pageant.
Got it.
So Amber Heath keeps beating Shanna for getting on the squad. And again, what I don't know is, were they both competing for the exact same spot and Amber kept getting it, or Amber was good and auditioned both years like many other girls, and she got in and Shanna didn't, and Wanda just zeroed in on Amber as being like Shanna's top competition. I don't know for sure. But either way, Amber was in Wanda's crosshairs. Like, if I can get this bitch out of here, then my daughter can go to state.
Yeah.
So Amber's mother...
This is all very healthy and normal.
Oh, it's so healthy. It's so healthy.
Not dysfunctional.
At all. Wanda is completely justified and totally down to earth and like really handling this well. Mm-hmm. And I'm super proud of her. So Amber's mother, this girl who keeps beating Shanna's mother, Verna Heath, was also deeply involved in the cheerleading world, and the two families kind of became rivals. She had a big ass then, she has a big ass now.
Well, they all have huge hair.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
This is 1991.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Amber's outfit?
I'm obsessed with her jumper with the two useless little buttons as like props.
Yeah, I don't even know. Look at all the patterns. There's paisley.
Oh, yeah, it's like a patchwork. I think there's some leopard print, kind of.
Yeah.
A smattering of dots. And then her mom, Heather, in a Hillary Clinton-inspired power suit.
Yes. Wait, Verna or who's Heather?
Verna, sorry. Heather's mom, Verna.
Amber's mom.
Amber's mom. Oh my God, I'm losing it. Yes.
Heather was my cheerleader.
Yes, you're right. I don't know what's happening in my brain. It's probably the weed.
No one does.
Yeah, certainly not. So anyway.
The good news is it's a mystery to science,
to science and the global community. Wanda believed that if Amber Heath, Shanna's biggest competition, couldn't compete, then Shanna would have that spot, would have a great chance of making the team, would basically take Amber's position.
She's going to Tanya Harding her?
Kinda.
Oh.
That's what she's toying with, the idea of doing something cuckoo bananas.
Okay.
So Wanda approaches her former brother-in-law, Terry Harper, a 36-year-old unemployed pipe fitter with an arrest record, mostly for like DUIs, which I'm not saying is okay at all. I'm saying he's not like a chronically violent offender.
Mm-hmm.
But Wanda definitely was like, oh, he's going to want money and he has no other prospects and he's a criminal. So I'm going to go ask him if he knows somebody who could do away with both Verna and 13-year-old Amber Heath.
I like how she's like, oh, he's already a criminal. What does he have to lose?
Right. He'll know people who are hitmen.
Or if that was just her way of asking him to do it himself.
She definitely was asking him to find someone to do it.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So I think if he had been like, I'll just do it, she probably would have been like, sure. But she was specifically asking him to find somebody to do it.
Got it.
Thinking he'd know people. It's totally like the white lady thing of like, who do I know who has been in prison? And I'm going to ask them if they know anybody who could murder my husband. Are you on the side of TikTok right now with that amazing creator? He's a gay man and he's like, if I were a girl.
Dylan. I love him.
My name would be Morgan. And I would never let a guy come inside of me.
I just watched that one. But like right when I'm about to come, I'm like, yes, make me a mom.
Yeah, put a baby in me.
Put a baby in me. I'm ready. And then as soon as he comes inside of me, I'm like, oh my God, never mind.
And then we're going to stand up and just let it, right in front of him, just let it drip out of me and down my leg. And it'll be so disgusting. If I were a girl and I were single, I would only let guys date me through Tinder. My name would be Kylie. My name would be Harper. I'm obsessed. They're so funny. Anyway, sorry.
I like how he whispers certain words.
Yeah. Yes. It's so good. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of like that's what this was giving me for a second there.
Okay.
So anyway, she approaches him about finding someone to do away with Verna and Amber. He said he thought she was just upset when she made the initial phone call. It was like
she wanted them fully dead.
Yes. But then she called him again over the Christmas holiday. And God. Terry was like, oh, fuck, she's serious. So similarly to one of the people in your case, Terry agrees to her face and then immediately goes to the police.
Good.
And it was like, yeah, my sister-in-law is a lunatic. What do I do? And they were like, LOL, wear this wire and let us tap your phone. And he was like, bet. And he just did and recorded all of their conversations.
I hope that he has hated her from day one. And now that she's given him this reason, he's like, this bitch is going away.
Yeah. I don't know why she would think her ex-husband's brother, her former brother-in-law, would have the kind of loyalty to his brother's ex-wife. Like, I don't even care if she's still the mom of your niece. Like, you still, in the family.
He's the only one she knows who went to prison.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, this is the only fucking reason she called him. If I were a girl and I wanted to have my husband murder, I would find the only person I know who went to prison. And his name would be Terry. And he would be my, like, ex-husband's brother. So be like, and I would offer him like
$2,000, but really I would be okay with like $5,000.
Okay, it's funny that you say that. So he wears the wire, calls her back on January 10th, 1991. And he's like, are you still interested in taking care of that problem? Wink, wink.
Oh my God.
And I guess it's like a common theme in a lot of the audio footage of these conversations that she would vacillate between like a weird little giggle and then like a maniacal laugh in these calls.
Did you hear him?
No, I didn't hear any of the footage. I just like read a bunch of transcripts and that detail came up in like 4 different articles. There are documentaries about this though that I didn't have time to watch yet, but I'm curious if they through like FOIA requests were able to get any recordings of.
Is this what the cheerleader thing is on HBO?
I think so. Because I know there's an HBO one.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. So that's definitely on my list for this weekend.
Okay. Teaching Miss Tingle, Man of the House.
Teaching Miss Tingle. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this cheerleading documentary.
Great. Done. So she goes, and does her like creepy little giggle. And Shanna, her daughter is entering 8th grade. Wanda is feeling the pressure that like, this is Shanna's last chance to get on the squad. I have to get Amber the fuck out of here, her only competition.
Tryouts are coming.
Yep. Quote, I don't know what to do, how to get rid of this woman, she said. When Terry pressed her as to whether she wanted the mother or the daughter both killed, she asked, what would be best? And later said, I don't know what I want. But despite not knowing what she wanted, she proceeded to give Terry Verna's address and like her license plate number and a rundown of her daily routine and start talking about price.
Oh my God.
So Terry floats a bundle discount for taking out both. Says the guy I found will do $5,000 for the girl, $2,500 for the mother. And
then God, I was really close.
Wanda laughs. Says the mother, she ain't worth crap, is she? Like, you're going to give me the mom for half the price of the daughter? Wow.
She is worthless.
So she agrees to the terms, but the $5,000 price tag on Amber must have been too steep. Because 2 weeks later, she met up with Terry.
For the murder of a child.
Yeah. Jesus. She meets up with Terry again a couple weeks later, and she settles on getting rid of only Verna, the mom. Quote, I would like it done. Whether or not I can afford it, I don't know, she said.
What? That's not solving the problem.
No, but this is why she thinks that taking out the mom will be suitable.
Okay.
First, she justifies her decision, saying to Terry, the mother's done more damage than the daughter. The mother is the one that screwed me around. I just want her out of here. I don't care if they ship her to Cuba. Okay, Wanda.
Okay.
She talks about like either murdering her or sending her to Cuba like multiple times. I've had like multiple different quotes of her talking about sending this woman to Cuba just for no fucking reason.
Were they undergoing some political shit in 1991?
When are we not when it comes to us yanking around Cuba? God only knows.
True.
But like, I don't know why she had Cuba stuck in her craw, but that is where it was stuck.
Cuba and Verna.
Yep. So she felt that if she took out Amber's mother, Amber would be so stricken by grief that she couldn't perform in cheer, and her daughter Shanna could take her spot.
This bitch is so sick.
I know. Absolutely
this
fucking
barely
great.
makes sense.
No.
It's entirely in her head. Her daughter doesn't give a shit.
No. It has no clue any of this is going on.
This is the dumbest.
It's so fucking stupid.
I can't wait to watch this documentary.
It's absurd. I can't wait to watch it either because I was only able to do like the highlights. I'm sure I need to see all the interviews is what I need.
Yes, I need to hear those laughs.
Yeah. So then Wanda is pressing Terry about his friend who would be doing the hit. She asks, this guy a badass or what? And Terry's like, yeah, he's bad to the bone, baby.
Ew. Blah.
She goes, he's gotta be. This is the only way I could ever do it, is pay somebody.
Oh,
At the end of the meeting, Holloway gave Harper a pair of diamond earrings as down payment for the $2,500 hit job on Verna. And on their final recorded call, Terry made it clear that the hired killer he had allegedly lined up would ensure that Verna Heath, quote, won't be breathing much longer. And then Holloway could be heard saying, okay, go for it. And
oh my God.
She was arrested 2 days later. What are you looking at? Oh, goddamn town full of losers. That's what I'm looking at. It should have been you up there.
Your mental illness is my absolute favorite when you're just reciting word for word the entire script of that film. It should have been you up there.
It's all I could picture.
Whole town full of losers.
Oh,
What I'm
goddamn town
looking
full
at.
of losers. That's what I'm looking at. When she's being hauled away for the most like lunatic shit. What are you looking at?
I think my favorite part is, pull on the North Pole.
It's a bar.
Yeah.
Take a memo, sweetheart. All right. So
Poor Jean.
why no? Seriously. So Wanda's arrested fucking immediately. And they have tapes for miles that like it takes absolutely nothing to get the warrant.
Oh my God.
And her first trial begins on August 23rd, 1991, as did the national media sensation surrounding, quote, the pom-pom mom.
Oh.
The prosecution came armed with witness testimony confirming Wanda's obsession with Shanna's cheer career, a career Shanna herself felt much less passionate about. The poor girl was so humiliated by her mother's behavior, and we'll get to Shanna years later, but like Shanna and Amber are Shanna specifically, I think, is the biggest victim in all of this. It's like
She was probably so upset she didn't even try out for the fucking cheer team.
she's mortified. Like she is not someone who wants to be in the spotlight. And now her mom has done this absolutely unhinged shit, and they are in national media.
And her mom's going to prison.
She's like 14.
Oh, that's so embarrassing. That's the most embarrassing thing your parent could do.
It's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. Because now you're the daughter of the quote unquote crazy mom that tried to kill our classmate and her mom.
Yeah.
Like Amber, I feel like can get cool points off of that. Shanna, like you're cooked.
Yeah.
She's cooked from that. I don't know. I feel like I just have the deepest empathy and sympathy for this poor kid who's like, I don't even fucking care that much about cheerleading. Like, that's your thing. I'm certainly not enough to kill anyone over.
Hopefully her dad lives in a different town and she can just go live with him now. Start fresh.
No, that's not really what happens. So,
okay.
I mean, I think for a time she does, but things go back to normal a lot sooner than you think.
Okay.
So classmates and administrators from the school also testified that Wanda had taken Shanna's rejections from the cheer squad far less gracefully than Shanna had. And one of Shanna's older classmates, who I think was friends with like her older brother, even testified that Wanda had approached him to float the idea of taking out Verna and Amber. Maybe
asking everyone.
8th grader or like freshman in high school. Like somebody
my God.
very fucking young.
Jesus.
Yeah. And he immediately declined that request and was like, what are you fucking asking me? And so she backed off and then went to ask her ex-brother-in-law. Wanda's defense team spun a different tale, calling Terry, the brother-in-law, an unreliable narrator due to his history of DUIs, and claiming that her jealous and overbearing ex-husband, who's Amber's father and Terry's brother, manipulated her into this whole murder plot fiasco so that she would be put away and he could get sole custody of 13-year-old Shanna. Of course, there is no evidence to support this.
Yeah.
And the prosecution has every minute of wire footage that implicated Wanda as the instigator. And the poor Heaths, Verna and Amber, who had no idea this lady was plotting to kill them until she was arrested.
Yeah, they were like, who?
Yeah, I mean, they weren't like who because, Wanda and it sounds like Verna might have already been at odds because Wanda was blaming Amber for Shanna not getting onto the cheer team.
But for just like probably getting a phone call from the FBI one day, being like, just so you know, there's a plot.
Yeah, you know that gal that has beef with you over at the middle school because of your kids in cheerleading? Weird story. Yeah. She was trying to hire a hitman to kill you and your daughter, but we got him. Everything's fine. I mean, I can't even fucking imagine. Like, what? I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. You're good.
Explain it to me like I'm 5.
But you really could have been murdered.
Wanda! My God. So the trial lasted like days.
10 minutes.
Oh. Yeah, like a few days. Like it was not. Basically 10 minutes in the grand scheme of things. And the jury returned with a guilty verdict and recommended Wanda be sentenced to 15 years in prison for conspiracy to commit murder. She was taken to jail, but served only a day because of a heck of a loophole. In Texas law, at least at the time of her conviction, allows a felon sentenced to a term of 15 years or less, so she was sentenced to 15 years, to post an appeal bond, which would allow a conditional release while you file and go through your appeal. So you don't have to wait in prison during that process.
Wow.
So Holloway makes a $75,000 bond and she's allowed to return home to prepare and await appeal.
Oh, God.
While out on this appeal bond, her defense got to work on not just filing that appeal, but predominantly petitioning to throw out the entire first trial, claiming that her conviction and the entire trial had been invalid. Now, I'm very high, so try to keep up with what I'm saying here because it's a little convoluted.
I won't ask a single question.
But I think you'll get it. So
okay.
The defense attorneys claim, now correctly, this does turn out to be true, that one of the jurors had been technically ineligible for jury duty because of a felony drug arrest. During jury selection, a juror had truthfully answered yes when asked if he had been involved in a criminal case. So the defense and the prosecution and the judge for jury selection all would have known, yes, I have this felony on my record. But the judge incorrectly assumed that he had served his sentence and probationary period in full, allowing him to continue on. The juror didn't speak up when the judge asked if any of the prospective jurors were on probation because this juror with a criminal record had served on a different jury in Texas several months earlier before a judge who had assured him that his legal issues or him being on probation didn't render him eligible for jury duty. So he just kept his mouth shut, assuming that all was well and not wanting to further complicate the process. He shouldn't have done that. He should have answered, yes, I'm on parole, but he didn't.
Well,
and so
it's kind of up to them to suss that shit out.
Correct.
Also, sucks to be called for jury duty twice in a few months.
I've never been called, ever.
At least in Iowa, if you're called, they can't call you again for like however many years.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've never been called. I'm kind of bummed. But anyway, so.
Don't be.
I know.
It's very stressful.
I know. I don't. No, thank you. So there's definitely suspicion that Wanda's defense team knew the truth about the jurors' ineligibility all along, keeping it in their back pocket in the very likely event that she would be convicted. Now, I can't confirm or prove this, and I don't have to because I'm not a fucking journalist, but that's just like the word on the street, is that the defense knew so that they could play this card immediately after the trial.
Well, which they did. And how would they find out about this afterwards if they didn't know?
Right. I mean, yeah, they must have, whether or not they looked into this juror before the trial and knew he was on parole but didn't say anything, because then that would have removed him from the jury before trial began, or looked into him trying to find a loophole after she got her conviction and found that he was on parole and then took it to the judge.
The odds of
That's
that
unknown.
just seems like needle in a haystack versus
it seems a little convenient.
Knowing and having it in your back pocket.
Just saying, it's a little convenient.
The amount of work that attorneys and lawyers do is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's really a lot. So yeah, I kind of lean in the direction of, okay, defense, like, I see the card you're playing. You've been holding onto that card this whole time. That's how I feel. But I also think that like Wanda sucks, so I'm biased. But anyway, whatever.
Oh, she really sucks.
Yeah.
She has great lawyers.
Yeah. I mean, so far, they're definitely working hard for her. So regardless of what we speculate, the entire Holloway trial and its verdict were indeed voided. And she was granted a new trial on November 8th, 1991, but it would be 5 more years until the trial would even be like scheduled to begin. And ahead of that start date, and after agonizing back and forth between the state and the defense to reach some kind of deal, Wanda accepted a no contest plea that proposed a potential 10 years in prison. So Verna, Heath, and the family are like, okay, thank God. Like, at least she will see some kind of consequence for this absurdity, this like weird, fucked up shit. But she only served 6 months of that proposed 10 years. I'm not 100% sure why she was, I mean, she's a white woman, so that's like a huge part of it.
She tried to kill a child.
Well, yeah, tried to hire conspiracy to commit, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, yes.
Semantics.
It is semantics. And I agree. I think that that's a slap on the wrist for a super fucked up thing. She also got her own family, like her daughter and her ex-brother-in-law, involved in some shit that is really fucked up. Like she's a mess, and 6 months does not feel like justice at all. I don't know if she necessarily needed to be away for 10 years, but like 6 months. So yeah, she got out after 6 months. She had to pay some hefty fines and do 1,000 hours of community service, but she was free. After years of this sensational story thrusting Wanda and her family into the headlines, she returned home like a free woman after 6 months in jail, and both Shanna and Wanda stayed as far from the media spotlight as possible, living their lives quietly in the hopes of leaving this ordeal behind them. And it wasn't until decades later that Shanna, now an adult, took interviews to share her experience.
Wow.
I'm not sure what her relationship is with her mother right now in 2025, but in 2012, Shanna gave an exclusive interview with Good Morning America, and that would have been 20 years after her mother's first conviction when all of this came out. At the time of the interview, Shanna was 34. She was married and she had 2 young sons of her own. She still lived just 30 minutes outside of her hometown in Channelview, Texas. She reflected on how her family handled the aftermath of the entire ordeal, saying, quote, "When it all happened, it wasn't talked about in my family. Oh. We didn't discuss it. It was like it didn't happen. It was just put on the back burner, like nothing had happened."
Like when the mom got out and came home.
And yeah, and I mean, through the whole process, because she was only behind bars the first time for like a day, and then she posted that appeals bond and was sent home. And then, yeah, she served her 6 months, but it's like they just continued on as normal and lived quietly and did not talk about it while it was happening. So she says, quote, so there would have been no reason for me to change the way I acted toward my mother if you pretend like nothing happened. She's like, I just kind of.
That's just coping.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
so sad and weird.
Kept interacting with her the way I always had. And it was like, she was fucking 13, 14, whatever, when this happened. What are you gonna therapy for everyone, first of all?
Everyone. I'm not saying Shanna behaved weirdly. That's
not at
completely
all.
natural. It's just that
I agree.
family,
I think that
the adults fumbled it.
100%. And I think that there was some criticism that Shanna was facing as an adult for like maintaining a relationship with her mom. And she said, when my boys were born, she was just as much a part of my life as she always had been. Like, for that long, things didn't really change in our relationship because my family just didn't talk about this. Wow. So at the time of the interview, she had started to distance herself from Wanda, finally taking the space to process all that had happened at this point decades ago, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Quote, we do not have a very close relationship is what she told Good Morning America in 2012. Again, I don't know what it's like right now, but this was her experience when she gave this interview. We don't have a mother-daughter relationship where you sit around and gossip. She did maintain some contact with her mother through her sons, wanting them to have a relationship with their grandmother, despite how complicated things were for her. Quote, you have to understand that I've only started dealing with this 2 years ago, is what she said in 2012. And this happened in 1991. So that's why she was like, this is why I want to allow my mom and my sons to stay close, because when they were born, she was a normal part of their life. And now that I'm processing through all this, I don't want to take that away from them, who they have their own relationship with her. I don't want to ruin that for them, which I respect that.
That's a very healthy decision to make.
Yeah. I mean, when they're old enough to know more about, you know, what went down, then she'll be giving them agency to make the decisions that are best for them without directly influencing their relationship with her. I respect it. I would respect it if she was like, no, none of us are going to communicate with you ever. Like, whatever works and is healthy for you and your family, I am not the one to judge.
Yep.
So
if it takes you and your family to tomorrow, then
and trauma's so complicated, it just made me really sad to read the transcript of this interview, and it felt like she's defending her decision or her process of staying connected with her mother all these years, who did do such a terrible and traumatizing thing. But like, we are not the judge, jury, and fucking executioner on how people handle their family drama and their family trauma.
No, but since this was so publicized and, sensationalized, people
everybody
feel
has
like
a fucking
they have
opinion,
a stake in it. Like they know.
Yep. So Shanna does, however, have her own way of parenting, gathered from the lessons she's learned over her 20-year journey from the scandal that rocked her family. Quote, obviously, I veer away from being a stage mom. I think I've learned that lesson, she said on Good Morning America.
She's a regular on the show, Dance Moms.
Oh, no, she would never. She said, my sons participate in football, and one of my sons didn't want to play anymore, so I was okay with that. If it's not fun, I think parents should take that into consideration. If they're not having fun, then try something different. It's not worth it. I mean, girl, yes. Yes. Like, your mom went to extremes that no one needed to go to. And thank God she had the wrong impression of her brother-in-law, who immediately was like, not only he's not, and the brilliant wherewithal to be like, I'm not going to just say no. I'm going to go to the cops. Because if I just say no and then do nothing and she goes to somebody else, these people could end up dead.
That's what the 14-year-old did, or whoever,
Yes. Like,
and who knows how many other people.
She could have found a way to go through with it if the first person she approached was a child. So I don't put any blame on him for being like, what, I'm going to forget that question ever came up.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what I would have done at 15, 14 years old, whatever.
I would have assumed that I misunderstood something and forgotten about it.
And then stayed away from that friend's house. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But I'm big ups to Terry, who was like, sure. And then just immediately goes to the cops and is like, listen, I got tea. And I'm ready to spill
That's why
it.
I kind of got the feeling that he just like hated her. And
I want to know that history. I want to know if there was an underlying petty revenge moment, like a vindication for Terry, who's like, team Harper, team my brother, fuck her.
Yeah.
We're going to take her down with the legal system. But for whatever the motivation was, Terry did the right fucking thing. Because I do not even want to think of what could have happened to Amber and or her mom if Terry had found somebody who was an actual willing participant in this absolutely unhinged bullshit over junior high cheerleading squad in small town Texas.
The fact that Shayna didn't give a fuck about it, I think is my favorite part.
It's
because the
mom
is just
part.
So crazy.
She's so fixated on it. But it's that whole, like, I didn't get everything I wanted in high school and I wasn't allowed to be on cheer and this was my dream. This was my fantasy. This is why people need to, like, be real ready to let go of their own bullshit to have kids. Because Wanda just took Wanda's clearly one of those women who has a baby to just fulfill all of her own selfish missed opportunities. And she went so hard on it.
Gown?
Is that for me or my gown? Very, very Mrs. Lehman.
Very.
Big time. So, that's my case. I put some photos from the Drop Dead Gorgeous IMDb on the drive because I just feel like Verna and Heather are Amber Atkins and her mom.
Yep.
And that Wanda is fucking Kirstie Alley.
Yes. The parallels are there.
Yep.
The hair.
The hair. The fashion. So fabulous. So yeah, check out the documentary. It's on HBO.
I'm so excited to watch that. Maybe we do get to hear from the brother.
Yeah, maybe we do. I don't know. I hope so. Anyway.
Fingers crossed. Thank you so much to Ashley Niles for your very special fan pick. This was a fun one.
This was wild.
I hope we did you proud.
We love it. We love you. If you want all of this content, audio content, ad-free, sign up with us on Uncorked. Come join the party. You get new episodes on the same day, just without ads, right there to your podcast player, baby, in your Wine and Crime feed. You get bonus content. You get access to our monthly happy hours. And you can now, just a reminder, watch all of our video content for free, but with ads on YouTube. So we've moved that from behind a paywall. If you want to see our bugs, which are sometimes thriving, sometimes not, head over to our YouTube channel. Give us a sub. Check us out.
Click that like button.
Smash that subscribe button.
Smash
it.
It's so gross.
It's the worst. We love you all so much.
Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Wine and Crime. Our cover art is by Danielle Sylvan. Music by Phil Young and Corey Wendell. Editing by Jonathan Camp. Our production manager is Andrea Gardner. For photos, sources, and other resources, head to wineandcrimepodcast.com. You can follow us on all the socials at Wine and Crime Pod. If you'd like to show your support and get access to all sorts of wine-fueled bonus content, check out our premium channel at wineandcrimepodcast.com/uncorked. Cheers!